Decided to do a video walk around on the Hustler 950 I just rebuilt. I've got her up on the pallet jack there so I can show the chain adjusters. Luckily I got to drive Jersey Bigfoot's Hustler several years ago. Learned that with the headlights being below the water line on the Hustler, anytime you're in the water at night you can't really see where you're going, so I added some lights up here above the water line, winch on the front, built the cage with a full body band, centered up the laterals. Being 6.5 feet tall, laterals were way to the left, fairly uncomfortable. All new wiring, all new gauges, redid the seats, had to build a battery hold down, that was missing. The gas tank was missing from the machine when I got it, and the tank I got, the filler neck was off center. It came up, the original hole was about here, so I had to drill a second hole, just built a plate to cover that. Rear floorboard was missing when I got it, so had some black HDPE laying around, just built one out of it. Built it two-piece and riveted the upper half to the bottom of, I guess, the back seat or the engine cover. This was the exhaust that came with it when I got it. The original owner had done a masterful job of patching a hole in the muffler with some aluminum, pop rivets, JB Weld, things of that nature. It held up exactly as long as I expected it to. Chunks of JB Weld flaking off there. So, just built a new exhaust for it. Just basic lawn tractor mufflers, pipe straight out of the heads. Had to cut and weld some pipe. If those don't work out, I can always go to Lowe's now that I know my lengths and have them cut to length and rethreaded. Was also missing the air cleaner cover when I got it. Looted one off a riding tractor with a vertical shaft engine. Slightly different style, but I've got it on there to where it works pretty good. Had a friend of mine who's a machinist build my chain adjusters for me. Light's a little bad, hard to see there. Rebuilt the T20 yesterday, mounted a bilge pump down in the recess in the tub. Used dishwasher drain hose as my hose for that and ran it up and out the body through a hole that somebody had already drilled in it. Trying to just use up all the holes that were already cut in the body. Got the light turned on the camera, you can see the adjuster I built a little better. Used a plate on them to tie them in to the unistrut and used 2 unistrut nuts. I've also got them marked with that pink line there, so once I fire it up you can see them in action. Let me go ahead and do that. As you can see here on the right side, there wasn't enough room for the adjusters that I built, so I had to run a sprocket on that one. I still need to build a plate and tie it in with a second unistrut nut. I've only gotten to drive the thing about 10 minutes and it's already worked loose, so I'll tie it in with a second nut. Really the last thing I have left to do on the machine is put the parking brake back on the T20. I need to get some new friction material for it. The stuff I ordered from McMaster the other day turned out not to be the stuff I actually needed.